Hi, God bless you. Good morning or good evening, wherever you may be. Um, Today I wanted to make a video about love, and I wanted to talk about what the Bible says about love and what God has been showing me about love recently. So, this past Sunday, I taught a lesson on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8. And I'm pretty sure, like, even if people are not Christians, that they've heard these verses before. They've seen them on, like, pictures or different, like, things in the store that you can decorate your house with. But this is where it comes from what God says that love is. And I will preface this by saying that I I haven't always understood love. I haven't always really like had an understanding of what is love. Like, if you just sit down and you make a list of things that you think love is, like, what is that? Like, it's different for each person, I feel like. So yeah, I'm just gonna read um these verses, and I'll go from there. So it starts at chapter 4. um and there are different versions of this. I wrote down a different version than what this one says. I'm reading in a bilingual Bible. Um, but in this version, it says, "Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, and hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails." So if you listen, if you really like go back and you listen to this, love, like, the way that the world presents love to us, like from an early age, is that love is very light. It gets a light feeling, right? And most of the time, when we think of love, we think of like romance or things like that. But love is not always those things. Love can be easy and it can be light, but it can also be heavy. Um, Love is bearing one another's burdens. Um, it doesn't say that love is easy, and I think that the way that we are shown love, excuse me, the way that we're taught about love from an early age is that love is easy. And it's like, me, I'm going to be 37 this week. So my perspective of love has changed throughout my life, and especially the last few years. I used to think that, love is easy, love is light, um, like it's all good things, but love has to transcend all of those things. Love has to stand when it gets hard. And that's the things that we don't really think about when we think about love. And um like like just thinking about my marriage, like being married for almost 10 years. Love is like, I don't like to give up on people. I don't like to give up through hard times, but love is enduring through hard times, and um it's not easy. It's not pretty, and you go through ugly things with people that you love. And I don't know, I just think that reading this and like going over it with the kids in my Sunday school is kind of like, how do you explain love to little kids? But I mean, the easiest way is to read what God says about love. And um, like the simplified version that I have written that I explained to them says, love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it is not rude, it is not selfish, it is not provoked, it thinks no evil. It doesn't rejoice in wrongdoing, but it rejoices in truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails. So, like, in my personal walk with God, I've been asking Him lately, I personally have had to deal with a lot of fear in my life. And through the past, I want to say 4 years, I've really been battling through getting deliverance and getting, doing, I'm going to go back to psychology terminology, doing like shadow work and really like digging down in myself and finding the things that I don't like about myself, that I want to be free from. And that does require deliverance at some point. But there are things that we just have to change in our mentality sometimes when we have been taught the wrong things or the wrong way. Like, for instance, I asked God to show me, what does that mean when it says in your word, perfect love drives out all fear? I didn't understand that. Like, having dealt with so much fear in my life, I was like, what does that mean? Perfect love drives out all fear. Like, I would just repeat it and I would say, God, what does that mean? Show me what that means, because I don't get it, like what is that? And it's because I grew up with the mentality of Disney movies, that love is just romantic love and that's all there is. That girls are just supposed to find somebody and just be in perpetual endless love, like till the end of time, right? That's bull. And if you live long enough and you live through enough stuff, you'll figure that out. Love is not pretty sometimes. But like, so for me, and I've heard more than just me, I'm not alone in this. A lot of people idealize love and like romance and things like that with sex. And this is hard for me to talk about. This is like shadow work for me. But I have issues around intimacy and sex because I was molested when I was little. I have gone through therapy in my life. I don't know how much good it's done me because I wasn't ever allowed to pick who the therapist was. But I have done years of therapy. But regardless of that, I've done enough. I've done work, to try to get stuff out of me, to deal with the ugly things in me. Because we have to do that. We have to face that darkness within us in order to be able to love others fully. And that's what I wanted to talk about. That love that transcends like romance or sex or anything like that. I haven't really understood that until recently. Like, what does that mean? So I can read some of what I've written, but I feel like I try not to go off of my feelings. I try to sit with things and I ask God, I pray about them. I don't just like in the past when I've gone off of my feelings has been totally not good. So I sit with my thoughts. I write things down. I journal them, and I try to figure out what's going on. So I like for September at least, I feel like God has really been opening my eyes as to what that means. Like to say that um, perfect love drives out all fear. He has been opening my eyes to like what does that mean, and I have felt like so indifferent in my life to love, like that I haven't really known what that is. Like, for instance, I had my first son in 2013, and then I also got married later that year. And so, like, becoming a mom and then becoming a wife and all of that was like around the same time. And it was a lot for me to try to take in and to understand, but um, they were good things, you know, like um, I wanted that. I felt like I was at that place in my life where I could handle that, but I was very wrong. Um, I was very emotionally immature. I um, I still have stuff that I'm working on with emotional maturity. Um, yeah, I even apologized recently to my son. I was like, I'm sorry that I don't know how to love you the way that you need me to love you. Like, because when you've grown up having one idea of what love is and only one idea, then it's hard to understand love in any other way until someone else shows you. So I I don't know, like I have a different story because I have like um I have a special needs child, and that is a very heavy thing. If anything, my special needs child has shown me that he embodies love for me, and I learn how to love through him a lot of times. Um, he can't speak to me yet, and he's gonna be 8 soon. Um, and I really have to be patient. I've had to learn patience because I love him. Um, and sometimes I just go through the motions and I don't understand it. Like love is a very foreign thing to me, and I try to process it and to understand it. Um, but I don't know. I've felt this month in September, I have felt like a weight has been lifted off of me, like off of my brain. And I feel like walls have come down in my heart and in my soul to like understand love better because I asked God to please send me that answer for how does perfect love drive out all fear? It casts out all fear. That's like a huge, huge thing that I'm like wrestling with God about, you know? Like, what does that look like? And I firmly believe that he's showing me in the spiritual realm, he's showing me what that looks like. Um, I I don't want to speak on this extensively because I feel like I don't want to be misunderstood. And in the past, when I've been very vulnerable, that has been used against me. So I don't like to open up. I don't like to share a lot of things, personal things, but I do believe that I have seen, I can see in the spiritual realm. God has given me that ability to do that. So when I have dreams or I have visions of things, that is like my connection with God, and that's how He talks to me. But there's another level that I experienced recently that I can connect with others in the spiritual realm. And I'm not going to go into full detail about that. I am still learning things, but I've always known that I can feel other people's, like, when I'm like with people, or even now recently that I felt when I'm not with people, I can feel their burdens on myself. Like, if I am open to that person spiritually, I can feel their burdens. I can feel the heaviness from their life on me. And I can cry and I can bear that with them. And I think that that is the ultimate thing for me. That I've learned that love is bearing one another's burdens. That is a huge thing. And I can feel other people spiritually. I can feel their heaviness and their burdens. I can feel their sadness and their pain. And I can cry through that, and I can pray for others. And it's been helping me in my healing that I've been doing. It's kind of hard for me to explain it without talking about like the occult or things like that. Um, but I can, like, I know there are people who do like astral projection and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about um, when you let someone in, like, spiritually, and you can feel love, and you can feel their pain, their love, their sadness, their happiness. You can feel all of those things like in your soul. And I feel a love that I haven't known before for someone, and I can see them in the spiritual realm, and I pray for them, and I feel their burdens, and I don't even have words to explain it a lot of times, but I'm trying to. um, and it's like, I can just read what I wrote. I wrote this on Sunday. I feel that I know things about my past, but I don't have images to go with the things that I know. It's like a ghost that's haunting me. I can't see it, but I can feel it. I can't really explain it to just anyone. Only one person can and will tell me. And only God can show me those things too. I long for a life that I have been a part of, but I know it not consciously, at least. And I like that imagery of that it's like something that I can feel but I can't see it. It's like a ghost, you know, like I feel like the things that I have going on, I have someone who can explain those things to me, one person, and this is the person that I'm talking about, that I can see and feel in the spiritual realm. He knows who he is. I have a lot of questions, but I know that time will answer those things. I just want to say, I'm not going to say any names or anything like that because he is on YouTube. But I am thankful for you, and I want you to know, I know you say it a few times. You say a lot of things, but you say that you have to fight the demons of the apocalypse, and I don't believe that. I just don't. And I don't want you to feel that that's your burden to bear. Because it's not. It shouldn't be anybody's burden to bear that but God's. And I know you're smart, and I know that you have a lot of understanding in things. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that that's your burden to bear, and you shouldn't ever feel something like that. So I'm not gonna say a lot more than that, but I just wanted to get on here and share about the lesson that I taught on Sunday. I have a lot more like stream of consciousness things that I've written down, but I feel very intimidated to read that stuff because I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot going on up in my head sometimes. And I just need to write it down because there's a lot of things that need to be explained to me because I have flashbulb memories in my mind where I see different things from being younger. And I have connections to things that I know someone can explain to me. But I trust that they will do that when they need to. So I really do appreciate what I've been walking through this past like 4 years at least, and the past, well, since September hit, I was like blown away. Like it just feels like it's just unexplainable almost to feel like the lightness that I feel for love and different things like that, and having a better definition of what that looks like. So yeah. I was like thinking through these things and talking through them, and I think that God's definition of love makes a lot of sense. And And I want to love people more the way that He says to love them, or to have love. So, yeah, this is already 25 minutes, and I was trying to make shorter videos now, but I didn't know how this one was going to go. But I could talk probably for 3 hours about this. But I'm not going to take up your time like that. So. Thank you for watching this. Yeah, I guess I'll make more videos as God leads me to, but yeah, love never fails, and I love you. If you've never heard that in your life, or you haven't heard it in a long time, I love you with the love of God. You are loved. You do make a difference. You are seen. You are known. God loves you. He made you in His image. You are made in the image of God. We can only love because He first loved us. And He sent His Son Jesus to die on the cross for us, for forgiveness of our sins. And yeah, I love you, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.